Something not quite right here.
Retired engineer John Phillips and fellow volunteer Paul are wrestling with the Railton Terraplane's repaired gear stick.
We're going to have to relook at these bolts.
The bolts are refusing to play ball.
Let's put them back in the dish for a minute.
But after a bit of head scratching, John may have solved the mystery.
What I realise is the gearbox is made in America, but the floor is British. The two different countries use different threads. That's why we couldn't get the bolts to fit correctly. We have now managed to find the correct bolts. I think we're getting there, Paul.
Yep. What you've got to do when you've got it reasonably tight is just check the selector works before we start thinking about the floor.
That's a good idea. Let's get these down once more. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, now let's just see.
Before John completes the reassembly, he needs to check that the gears move smoothly into the selectors located in the gearbox.
So, foot on the clutch, moving the gear lever back and forwards. There's first, second, third, and over and up is reverse. We can get all 3 forward gears and reverse gear. You can also reach the gear lever now, which is an amazing difference. What do you reckon, Paul?
Doing good, and you've managed not to fracture the repair, John.
Probably a good idea.
With the gear stick back in full working order,
Shall we try and get the floor back in?
Tough job, but let's get on with it.
the final task should be a piece of cake, especially with a bit of good old-fashioned teamwork.
Oh, there we are. That's got the part of the gear lever. Now we've got to rotate it to get the handbrake
Stuck on the
on the gear lever, aren't we?
When the gear stick was shorter, the floor had lifted over it with ease.
It's obviously going to be slightly more tricky than we first envisaged.
But now it's back to its usual length, it's a different matter.
Remember that we actually took the floorboards out with the broken gear stick. So John's going to try and unscrew the newly tapped extension piece. So there we are, we're away. So that gives us a bit more manoeuvrability.
Right.
And with one last burst of effort,
I think we're there.
success.
Oh, that was a struggle. I must have a breath. At 75 years old, I'm beginning to struggle with some of these things now.
The fight with the floor over, all that's left is the fun bit.
Let's see if she's going to start up and then see if we can drive the car. Hopefully the engine's going to start. This will go into here. Oh, look at that. And into third. Well, I think that's a good job done. It's getting all the gears very nicely. She's a pleasure to drive now. Hopefully this will last a few more years and they can see it driving on the finishing straight.
Can you go and get a big screwdriver?
Good boy. That's it. Nice and steady there.